guys, Gaming Frontier here. We're gonna be making a guest appearance at BRG's podcast. We're gonna be adding a link down here in the description if you guys want to see us there. And if you guys are already there, please subscribe to those guys. They're amazing and you can see us there. So go now.
Hello there, welcome to episode 45 of the Gaming Frontier podcast. This is the #1 show in Mexico that's all about video games. My name is Adolfo Aguirre. I will be your host for today's show, and I'm joined as every week by my good pal, Mr. Guillermo Vizcaíno. How are you, buddy? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for the invite us every week.
The invite.
Or the introduction. I mean, it's both our podcasts, so I guess I have to be here every week.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm doing great. I'm doing good, even though it's a pretty hefty and heavy week in terms of work and things to do and pending stuff that we can really talk about. But I'm doing good.
I guess that's the case really for every week.
Yeah,
Like
sort of.
every week.
Yeah.
Every week we got a shit ton of stuff to
Yeah,
do.
when you do games, that's like your standard.
Yeah, it is. It's a good thing,
way
you
of
know.
being, right?
It's how many people would wish to? I mean, first and foremost, to have a job.
Right.
Second, to have a job in gaming, right? So,
Right.
In many ways, we're very lucky. We should be very thankful and appreciating of that. But anyways,
A quick parenthesis. Do you hear me? Do you
I
hear
do.
me
Yeah.
in your headphones? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Because I don't hear myself.
I do. As you already know, guys, this podcast is part of the Gaming Frontier YouTube channel where you can find gaming-related content throughout the week.
All right.
The Gaming Frontier podcast is a weekly show where the two of us discuss the latest news and trends and everything going on in the gaming industry. Today won't be an exception, so we will be jumping right into the first discussion of this show, which revolves around a game we are both playing and enjoying called Yooka Laylee.
Cool.
So as you guys may already know, if you're watching this, it's like you already know, Yooka-Laylee is the spiritual successor to a childhood franchise for us called Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, the sequel for that, back on the N64, back in 1997
Right.
and in 2000. Right, I think so. If I'm not mistaken with the dates, but around those years. So both of those games are some of our favorite games of all time. We love both of those games. Some great childhood memories, a lot of nostalgia going in there. So they recently, the team behind these games left their old company Rare, formed a new studio called Playtonic Games to kickstart a game that's basically a Banjo-Kazooie with a different skin, a different character, different worlds and all that stuff. But it's essentially a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. It follows the same formula, the same design principles and elements as Banjo-Kazooie. So very successful Kickstarter, one of the most successful Kickstarters ever made. And the game is finally in our hands, and we have been playing a bit of it. So I want to just talk briefly about our first impressions.
All right.
A brief discussion about what's going on with the game. So we will play for what, like an hour, a bit more than an hour?
Yeah, about close to
2 hours,
maybe.
right? Yeah. Absolutely. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think you too.
Yeah.
So I'm going first with you. What were your first thoughts when you jumped into the intro of the game and subsequently the first level, the first world of the game? What do you think about when you just got into that?
Oh man, Yooka-Laylee is such a special game in terms of how nostalgic it feels. The very first moment you pop up the game, you enter the main menu, and the main menu has this like subdivisions of things that you can go to, or subsections of the menu, which are the campaign or the main story, the multiplayer aspects of it, the Rextros mini games, options and whatnot, and exit or whatever. And they are arranged in this very same way that Kazooie and Tooie were arranged on, and with the very same, everything about Yooka-Laylee feels like, evolution of the Banjo series, and that's exactly what I wanted to see and what I wanted to feel when I first heard about Yooka-Laylee back in early last year. 2 years ago, whenever it was that they launched the Kickstarter
2 years
campaign.
ago, I think it was. Yeah.
3 years, Jesus, time
2
flies.
years, I think.
2?
I think so.
I don't really recall when the campaign started, but when it started and when it was announced and teased, I that's what I wanted. That's what the exact thing that I wanted was to feel that Banjo Kazooie feeling, right, redundantly, right? And that's what I got, and I'm very happy with that. I'm happy with it. I started the game, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but everything, the dialogues, the writing of the game, the music, the environment, everything feels like a 3D platformer from the 90s or early 2000s.
Agree, 100%.
And that's what I wanted again. And for some people, that's not gonna be. If you look at it on the void, if you see it just as a game, it might feel a bit clunky. It might feel a bit off because of today's standards for platformers and today's standards for games in general. It might feel a little old. It might feel a little odd. I don't want to say unpolished or anything like that. It just feels old. But I think that's intentional. I think that's what the guys at Playtonic wanted it people to feel when they play the game. And they absolutely made it. And for me, for someone that was expecting that, and for someone that wanted that, throwback to the old era of gaming, the golden age of 3D platformers, that's what I wanted. Again, that was exactly what I was looking for. I got it, and I'm very happy with the results. Now, granted, I've only played the main hub a little bit, and then a little bit on the first world or the first tome or the first whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
So it's a little early to tell, if the experience is going to be lengthy enough for you to really get to enjoy it, right? Because there was this one thing about Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie was that they felt like very long games, right?
Yeah.
Very elongated in terms of playtime. You could spend days and days and days playing these games, and maybe the game itself didn't really took that long, but back then when you first played them and you had nothing, there was no internet, there was no tutorials or anything of the sort, and you played these games, you struggled with finding all the musical notes or all the jiggies or all the everything was a mystery that you needed to solve. And I don't know if in today's age people are gonna get as much of a thrill with the game. It's still too early to say. But in terms of the feeling, in terms of how it feels playing the game, I think it feels great.
Definitely. I think this is definitely a love letter for Banjo-Kazooie fans.
Yeah.
In every single sense, in every single way. I don't think this game would be much of an enjoyment for people who are not Banjo-Kazooie fans, because it's definitely it feels in many ways like an old game. Like it feels that it definitely has design elements from the 90s.
Right.
And that can definitely be a bad thing for people who are just way too used now to modern gaming, to modern shooters, to modern experiences. But for people, if you're looking for a Banjo-Kazooie experience, if you're looking for a Banjo-Kazooie game, this is the game you're looking for. This is the Banjo-Kazooie game we've been waiting for, I think. So just judging from what I played, this is at least what I, as a Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie fan, wanted to play. Because even nostalgia-wise, I mean, I just played Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie on the Rare Replay collection just a few months ago, and this game feels very authentic to that experience. Also, it looks amazing. It looks beautiful. It's a beautiful game to look at. It's very cartoony, but it's very colorful, and it stands up. It just shines in every single corner of the game. It looks like a 90s platformer made modern. Also, what I really want to highlight is the music. Like, oh my god, like Grant Kirkhope just did an amazing job with the music of this game. And what I mean, if you're not looking at the game and you're just walking by and listening, and you just pass by the TV or whatever, and you listen to the game being played, you think of Banjo-Kazooie. Like, you're like, oh my god, it's that Banjo-Kazooie. No, it's ukulele. It just strikes every single note correctly. It feels like a Banjo-Kazooie game, and every time I was playing this and listening to the music, I was smiling. I was brought back to my childhood, and I was just smiling at how beautiful it was. It's great. The music is great. Also, the writing, man. Oh my god, the writing, the humor of Laylee, specifically Laylee. I think they really
Nailed
just
it.
nailed
Yeah.
the personality of Kasui in Laylee. It's phenomenal. The jokes that Laylee makes and how Laylee just makes fun and is very aggressive to
Sarcastic
many
and-
people, sarcastic
yeah,
to
yeah,
many
yeah.
of the NPCs in the game. The jokes of the piggy character just having a name related to fatness or
Yeah.
food. The jokeness with Rextra about how could he survive the HD era of gaming. That kind of stuff. But the way it's written makes it shine a lot.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a game full of personality. Again, I'm not sure that people who are not Banjo-Kazooie fans will really enjoy it, especially as much as we do. But if you were a gamer on the N64 and PS1 era, if you were a gamer of this old classic 3D platformers, if you enjoy Banjo-Kazooie, this is a game that you should definitely check out and pick up. It's so far from what I've played, haven't had much time to really play it as much as I wanted, but from what I played, it's very good. It's great. It has its drawback as well. It has some criticism going on. Me personally, I had a lot of problems with the first Rextra minigame, the minigame that is on the first world called Kartus Karting, I think was the name. I hated the minigame. I think the controls are very, very bad, and it's very frustrating and unfair. But you have to beat it to get some pages, 2 pages in fact, from the minigame, and that sucked. That sucked, but I had to do it because I wanted to 100% the game, and I didn't enjoy it. Like when the whole time I was playing the minigame, I wasn't having fun. I wasn't enjoying it. It was a chore to do, and that sucks, right? I don't get why it's here, and the idea of minigames is very nice. Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie did it very well, I think. But this one, I don't know. I'm not getting it. I'm not liking. I hope the next minigames on other worlds are better, but this one so far, I don't think so. But that's basically the only thing outside of Rextra's arcade. Everything has been perfect.
All right. Yeah, and it's worth mentioning as well that this is a game that came from a Kickstarter campaign, right? A successful Kickstarter campaign, and it was successful, and
it reaches goal in like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
or
right.
less.
Yeah, it really overshoot what it wanted to make versus
far.
what it got.
By far.
And taking that into account and seeing previous games and I'm not trying to throw dirt or stones at anyone here, but seeing other games that were kickstarted successfully and that made it to fruition, and looking at those games and how those games made, right, a critically acclaimed or critically rather, and financially, and there's a huge difference, right? I mean, Yooka-Laylee, it's not critically wise, it's not a game with 10s or 9s, it's not a huge financial success or anything like that, but it's a very good game. It's a game that I guess financially, I don't have the numbers, but I don't think it's doing bad.
I think it's great. I think so.
Yeah, and
I hope so.
When you hopefully, and when you contrast that with things like Mighty Number 9 or with games like what was another failure with Kickstarter? No Man's Sky was a Kickstarter game.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm pretty sure there's another one that that really stands out.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just going back to Mighty Number 1.
9.
No, 9. Sorry. The amount of flaws that game had nothing to do in comparison to Yooka-Laylee and the amount of flaws that this game has, right? Even we're arguing that some of those flaws might even be intentional, that they might be by design, that they are done that way. The controllers, the camera, the etc. etc. There are some flaws with the mini games, and that's all right, but it's nowhere compared to other Kickstarter games that are out there already and that didn't really successfully embrace or successfully delivered what people wanted from them. And in Yooka-Laylee's case, I think it's the entire opposite, right? They delivered exactly what the people that backed the game wanted.
Yeah.
And it so happens that thing that those people that backed the game up, the thing that they wanted, is not something that some other groups of players or gamers really were interested on, right? The 3D platformer nostalgic 90s era type of gaming, right? That's what the critics been about the controllers feel clunky, the essence of how the game works, it's a little weird, and all of these things are things that are the way they are because probably they were designed to feel like that because that's how the games were back then, and so they are making this game for those backers that wanted that experience rather than for the entire population, right? Yeah. So I think that's commendable. That's something to take into account when thinking of Yooka-Laylee as a game that started as a Kickstarter campaign that went successful, right?
It's a game for a specific audience.
Yeah.
And it's a game that specific audience would definitely love the hell out of it. Everyone else, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. And we are definitely seeing that on the reviews.
Right.
Because many people who are not that audience are reviewing the game. That's why it's getting not so great scores. But I think everyone who enjoys this kind of 3D platform from the 90s will love.
And that's perfectly fine, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
not every game has to appeal to every segment of the market.
Exactly.
So
Absolutely.
it's just fine.
100%. Yeah. So if you believe this kind of game fits your style, definitely check it out. Support these guys because they're giving people what they wanted for years, even more than a decade.
Yeah,
right. Since
I
we
agree.
wanted a sequel to Banjo 3, so that's great. Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Balls, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
What game? Which one?
Banjo 3. Banjo 3, the game that never happened.
Is it on development?
No, it never happened. Was cancelled.
Yeah.
That was one of the saddest things
Right.
to ever happen in gaming. Having Banjo.
I still have my, now that you touch on that, and granted that we are very rare-escated after playing Sea of Thieves this last weekend.
Yeah.
I still have hope and hope, I guess, is the best word of for using in this case, that Banjo 3 might still one day make its way out into the open with Rare recharge and doing games that are games and not Kinect stuff anymore. And I don't think it's going to be soon. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen this year or next year or the year after that, but I think that Rare is now in a position where they can say, you know what, we're going to take some of those franchises that people love and going to do something that people want.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for Banjo 3 in the near-ish future. Maybe not so recent because Yooka-Laylee it's way too much of a already
competition,
of competition in that regard. But I do see a Banjo 3 somewhere and sometime in the future.
I really, really, really want a Just for Gemini game.
Right? Yeah.
I really want that.
Yeah.
I think it's like Just for Gemini is the kind of game that can is one of rare franchises that can appeal, I think, to the widest market possible because of its violence, of its shooting mechanics, of its craziness in that sense. I think it's a game that if modernized, it can be very appealing to a big audience, and it's very different in many ways as well.
Yeah.
So I really, really want the Jet for Gemini 2 or reboot or whatever, right? I really want that. I hope that happens soon. That would be great. Also, well, moving on to a Nintendo territory.
Ooh.
The next topic. Mario Kart.
Right.
Mario Kart. Mario Kart is one of the franchises that I love the most.
Right.
You know me. I love Mario Kart. I'm a big Mario Kart player. I'm a hardcore Mario Kart player in many ways. I just love playing Mario Kart. It's a Mario Kart. It has always been a franchise that's been a console seller for me.
Right.
I always want to play the newest Mario Kart. I just love the franchise. I have so much fun with it, and I play shit ton of hours Mario Kart, every single one. I play insane amount of Mario Kart in every single iteration of it. So I just love it. I just love it so much. That wasn't the exception on the Wii U with Mario Kart 8. I got the game on release, and I played the hell out of it. I played for hundreds of hours already. And I just love the game. It's the one game thing that gets the most rotation, probably ever right now during these last couple of years. It's a game that's always present on my console. It's the one game that's always present on my console. And I love that. So when Nintendo announced the deluxe version of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe
For Switch.
for the Nintendo Switch, I honestly was a bit hesitant about it. I didn't really like the idea, and especially after we learned that the deluxe version would only include like a couple of new characters, which I don't care about. I mean, Yeah, Bowser Jr. is awesome. I love it. King Boo is awesome. I love it. But $60 for that? No,
Yeah.
no way, no way. And a new battle mode, which battle mode is very cool. I love battle mode. It's not what I play the most in Mario Kart, but I like battle mode. It's a very fun thing to do. But $60 is not a thing for me to get a new game, a new game that I already own, right?
Yeah.
So I was especially disturbed, or rather unhappy, with Nintendo not releasing that content as a DLC for people who already own the Wii U version, or Nintendo not creating a sort of upgrade program for people who already own the game to upgrade to the Switch for less than $60. I don't know, $10 at most, $20, right? So I was very happy, and I'm still very unhappy about that decision. But I wanted to get your look into this as someone who likes Mario Kart but isn't a hardcore fan of Mario Kart as I am. What do you feel about Nintendo doing this and potentially doing this same thing with Smash?
Right. It's hot. It's hot because now that you brought Smash into the picture, I see it with a different light. Because I mean, opposed to you, I'm more of a Smash player than I am a Mario Kart player. And Mario Kart, I wouldn't necessarily want to. I also own Mario Kart, and I wouldn't necessarily upgrade. If I ever got a Switch, I wouldn't want to spend $60 on a game that it's not my main game, right? In terms of Nintendo franchises that I go back to and go back to once again. I would actually think about upgrading to Smash on Mario Kart, because at the end of the day, for $60, because at the end of the day, and and there's a big if in this whole scenario, because at the end of the day, Smash and Mario Kart, you could argue it's as well, but Smash, it's a game that is best enjoyed when you have someone else to play it with, right? If, say, my group of friends all upgraded to Switch and they all got Smash, then I would actually be I would be compelled. I would be.
You would be peer pressure.
In a way, yes, right? And no, because I mean, even if there is no peer pressure per se when with them trying to convince me to buy the game, the very thought of being able to go anywhere and play Smash anywhere. I mean, utopically, Nintendo wants us to think that we can go and play in the park, and I don't really think anyone's going to be playing in parks anytime soon. But if we could, come to our work, right, to our job, be doing stuff, and then at lunchtime, we could all just take out our Switches and start playing Smash, and having that experience be it something that we could do, then I would actually think it, because it's a very, very cool concept. If there's no one that wants to upgrade, or if the mentality of my friends would still be to go to someone's place and play there, and just bring controllers over, then I don't really see the reason why we want to upgrade to a Switch, right? I don't really. I mean, I already have my GameCube controllers. I already have my Wiimotes and my all of that stuff that I work perfectly fine with the Wii U version, and the Wii U version's fine. It's perfect. There's no new characters. There's new something.
It's great. Yeah.
So unless that was the sole idea of getting Smash, having it available to you to play wherever you want with whoever you want, and that whoever has to have the game also, then I would consider it. Mario Kart not being my main game, not being something that I would actively say, I want to play this right now. I don't really find the appeal. So Deluxe is not a game that's for me. Battle mode, it's okay, but I've never really, it's even lower on my scale. I mean, I have fun with it, but I don't necessarily.
You prefer racing?
Yes,
yeah, me too.
And a hell of a lot more. And so then half of the appeal is already gone there. The new characters, I mean, I don't really, I don't really mind about that. If there were new curses and cups, then maybe I would think about it.
I agree.
But as that's not the case, then there's not really anything enticing me to get the game, even though it's doing great, and even though it's still a very good game. If you don't have a Wii U and Mario Kart for Wii U, then absolutely get it, because it's a fantastic game.
It's the best Mario Kart.
Just as with Zelda, if you don't have a Wii U and you don't have Zelda, then you go and get that Switch and go and get that Zelda Breath of the Wild, because it's an amazing game.
Right.
But if you already do have a Wii U, then don't waste your money, going out there and spending on Mario Kart, which is $60, and or Zelda, which is $60, and then on a Switch, that's $300, and then on controllers, and then on, that's the whole problem with the Switch right now, is that you have to get the system to play all of this plethora of games that are not unique to the system right now, games that you can play on your Wii U, and you'll be perfectly fine playing them there. So I know that I wouldn't get Mario Kart. I know that I wouldn't get Zelda, and I didn't. I already played on the Wii U. And as for the Switch, I'm still waiting for the day that something comes out that really entices me to play it, be it Odyssey, or be it a Metroid game, or be it something in the future that's exclusive and that's enticing.
That's a real exclusive.
That's a real
Not
exclusive.
like Zelda,
Yes, exactly. Then when that day comes, I might think about, going to my closest store and getting a Switch. Amazon, yeah. Absolutely.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. But until then, I'm not enticed by Mario Kart Deluxe.
I agree. Yeah, if you, as you just said, if you haven't played Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, if you didn't own a Wii U, get this game on the Switch. Mario Kart 8 is, for me, the best Mario Kart ever made. I just love the game so much, and the Deluxe version has a lot of tracks, and almost all of them are excellent.
Yeah.
And I love the game so much, and I was hoping for new tracks on the Deluxe version to entice me to get the game, but no new tracks, like nothing. There's nothing in there to really entice me to get the Switch version. However, I think, as you said with Smash, I think that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's a great game to have on a portable, to have on a handheld, when on a plane or on airports or events, like gaming events. For us, we're going to be traveling to some gaming events like E3 and other events here in the country. It will be absolutely...
You say that so casually. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to be traveling to E3.
Yeah, by the way, if you're going to be there, just hang out with us.
It's exciting, guys. It's exciting.
Hell yeah. So imagine just, I don't know, at E3, late at night, just hanging out with some devs, some people, just getting out of Nintendo Switch and just getting into a 12-player Mario Kart 8 races.
That would be so cool.
That would be so great. Yeah. That would be so great. I remember very well when I was at the EGS, Electronic Games Show,
right,
Mexico City. I was on the line. I remember very well for a Ubisoft. I think it was Raving Rabbids, the game.
Right. Yeah.
I was on the line, and the line was like an hour and a half long line for the game, because it was when people were so excited about the Wii.
That's like 10 years ago.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was a kid back then, and I remember people to spend time. Everyone had their DS out,
right,
and people were playing games on their DS. So I went, I got mine too. So we gathered, four of us gathered and played Mario Kart DS for an hour.
Wow.
On the line.
That sounds fun.
And the line, and we didn't realize, and we were just already in front of the line. Like, time flew by.
Yeah.
And after that, and every single line I got into, just got on my DS, and every single time there was somebody in the line with a DS as well, and we got together and played something, anything. Most of the time it was Mario Kart DS. So having that on the Switch, having Mario Kart 8, the best Mario Kart made on the Switch, and playing that on the lines at events or airports, whatever, right? I just said lunchtime or on at the office. That would be great. Smash would be a great thing for that as well. So on that sense, I am very enticed for Mario Kart Deluxe. But $60? No way. Yeah. Like the top price for me would be $20. If this game was $20 for me as an owner of the Wii U version, yes, I'm all in. But $60 for a game already on, I don't know. It bothers me a lot that Nintendo didn't implement an option, a tracking option for people who already got the Wii U version. Even if I got the game for digitally, even if I got a discount for only the digital version of the game, whatever. It's just $20 or $10 or whatever. that would be great for me. But I feel like as a Wii U owner of this game, I feel that I'm being locked away from content.
Yeah.
I feel that I'm being locked away from accessing the battle mode and these new characters, which really messes up for me the way I feel about Mario Kart 8 and the way I look at Mario Kart 8. That's what I don't like at all. And I was talking yesterday with some friends who own the Wii U version of Smash, and they were telling me like, and they own the DLC, so they were telling me that if Nintendo comes out with a Smash for the Switch, with all the DLC characters, and I don't know, 2 or 3 extra characters, they were like, I would kill myself. Like, this would be the nail in the coffin for Nintendo, for me personally, in the way I look at Nintendo in terms of being pro-consumer, anti-consumer. This would be super, super awful. And I get that, because you already spent the money on this content.
Sure,
and
you
then,
feel betrayed.
Exactly. Yeah. But at the same time, like, Nintendo has the right to do it. I mean, it's your responsibility as a consumer to make those kinds of decisions. But you also have the right to be to feel bad about it. I saw on a comment section someone compare Mario Kart Deluxe to what Sony did to The Last of Us Remastered when they re-released The Last of Us on the PS4 with the DLC. The thing is, and the difference that someone pointed out to that person, and I agree with, is that there wasn't a single piece of content on The Last of Us Remastered that wasn't available for players on the PS3 version of the game. There wasn't a single piece of content. Yes, they included the DLC of the game on the PS4. However, the DLC is available on the PS3. So there wasn't a single piece of content that was locked out from the game. And that was exactly just a port. In the case of Mario Kart 8, it's a port with some new features, which is... I get why people are upset about it. Yeah. Because I feel upset about it as well.
Right.
So me personally, I don't think I will be getting this game. I would rather wait for the Mario Kart Deluxe version on the Switch to get a real big price drop or bundle, whatever, something like that. Because right now, I think this is way too expensive for a game that I already own. I don't feel happy about it, and I am very afraid of Nintendo doing this to many other games because now I don't feel confident in purchasing and getting other Nintendo games on the Wii that I haven't bought. I don't feel confident about it. And I mean, what if they did that to Zelda and just later down the line just made exclusive content for Zelda
Switch.
On the Switch and on a Wii U? Like, they can do that.
It's not even that far-fetched.
They can even do that.
Yeah.
And man, I am afraid of getting games that on the Wii U that I don't already own, like Super Mario Maker. They can just release the game on the Switch with extra new features that are not available on the Wii U and support for the Wii U version. They can do that, and I am afraid of that. I don't want Nintendo to take that route, and I can see them doing it.
I mean, I wouldn't like if they did that, but I already don't like the scenario where the Switch needs ports from the previous generation, right? And that's a big problem that I had with Xbox One and PS4 coming from 360 and PS3. In that, okay, I get it, and it's cool, and sometimes sometimes even I fall for it, and even I, oh, look at that, the remastered version of whatever, it's
Halo.
amazing, or the remastered version of Halo, the Master Chief Collection, or the master version of The Last of Us was amazing, or all of those remasters are. Sometimes you fall for them, but in general, I don't want to see the Switch fill their catalog with the games that I already either played or that are already out. I mean, I want to
100%.
see new IPs and new properties coming to the Switch that either are not there before or that are I want to see new games. I want to see games that I've never seen before.
100% agree. I do get also why Nintendo is doing the ports thing from the Wii to the Switch, because I mean many people didn't own Wii U, and Mario Kart 8, the best Mario Kart game ever. It's also the Mario Kart game that the least people played. Smash, I think, is the best Smash game on the Wii U. The Smash game on the Wii U, I think, is the best Smash game ever, and it's also the Smash game that the least people have played. Right?
That's true.
That I get why they're trying to do that, and Breath of the Wild, I get why it's been important to the Switch, because if it was only a Wii U game, many people would not have played the game. The same thing for Yoshi's Woolly World. I think it's the best 3D platformer Nintendo has ever made since the SNES era. I think that game can definitely be benefited from a port to the Switch. but they didn't do that. They ported it instead to the 3DS, which is I guess it's okay. Super Mario Maker. I'm 100% sure that game is gonna be launching on the Switch as well, because it's for many people it's the definitive 2D Mario experience, and nobody's playing it because it's on the Wii U. So I think that game will be coming out on the Switch, and I get that. But also, I mean, what are you giving me as a Wii U owner? You as a Wii U owner, what are you giving us for as content to entice us to get the console? And so far, Nintendo's been failing badly at that. Because right now, I don't see any single game on the Switch that really draws me in to get a Switch right now. So that's that worries me quite a bit. So yeah, I'm afraid of this like sports, enhanced sports, deluxe sports thing being a thing that goes on forward. Also, I'm a bit afraid that because of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe now being on the Switch, that Nintendo will not make a new Mario Kart game for the Switch. I'm afraid that this will be the Mario Kart game on the Switch.
On the Switch, right.
And not a new one. Same for Smash, right? If they just port it and maybe not having a new Smash game or new whatever. I'm a bit afraid of that. So, I don't know. It's dangerous territory, I think. And the thing is that the only thing that we can do is really trust the company, trust Nintendo. But trusting Nintendo isn't a thing that we've been taught to do so, because we've been disappointed hundreds of times.
Yeah,
right? So
way too many times.
Absolutely. So, well, let's hope. Let's hope this turns out to be all right. Still with Nintendo, another hardware thing related with Nintendo. The Mini NES was a big thing, a big success. They ended production, and it appears there's a big rumor of the Mini SNES being a thing coming later this holiday. I think it makes sense business-wise, because the Mini NES was a big hit. I think the Mini SNES can be even a bigger hit than the Mini NES. There's a lot of demand for it, clearly, because it's making a lot of buzz, a lot of noise. Would you get it? You personally?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Me personally, I mean, it depends, really. It depends on, first, the supply.
Right.
The supply. I'm not going to go down hunting a Mini SNES everywhere just to get the damn thing. Yeah, right? I'm not gonna do that. I don't have time, and my time is worth more than that. I would not do that. I don't want to deal with caliber and that kind of stuff. Definitely not. Second, the games. I mean, if it's gonna be a machine that has Mario World, Metroid, A Link to the Past, the mainstream games, I don't think so, because I already own these games. I already have a chance to play these games, and I don't know. But if it has some more obscure titles, like, well, Earthbound, I don't know if it's obscure, but more difficult to find titles like Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, some Final Fantasy games, that kind of stuff, then hell yeah. I think if there's supply for it, and if I just find it on the store at $60, then yeah, I think I'll get it. Just a collectible item and a piece of hardware. New piece of hardware that I can connect to my HD TV to play some of these games. But if the situation with the Mini and NES repeats itself, then hell no. I don't think that would be nothing for me.
Right.
But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens with it. I just hope it doesn't make Nintendo lose focus of what they should be doing with the Switch right now. Right. So that's basically it for Nintendo. That's basically it. Also for the discussions of the show. Slow news week, so nothing really to talk about besides what we just said. So I guess it's time to jump to a section we'd like to call the Gaming Frontier Ultra Quick Random Interview. This is the segment of the show where the host of the episode anchors asks a question to the co-host, to the other person, to the other one of us. This is a question, in this case, it's a question I'm going to ask Guillermo, and he doesn't have a single clue of what I am going to ask.
That's right.
So this is going to be interesting. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not, because I don't have a question written. What should I ask
We're so prepared.
We are so prepared.
To be hosts.
You can see that we spend every night before recording this just writing down the script and preparing the topics.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not.
I got a question. I got a good one.
All right.
So, the question is, what is your most unpopular
Okay.
gaming opinion?
Huh.
An example. Yeah, an example. Maybe I say, Yoshi's Woolly World is better than Yoshi's Island on the Super NES.
Oh.
Like, almost nobody would agree with that statement, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What
Is
would...
that true though?
No.
Okay.
No. But I would say that it's on par,
Okay.
which is also unpopular.
Yeah.
But what would your unpopular gaming opinion be?
Oh man, that's a very good question. That's actually a very, very good question.
And we have some time today, so you can
think
have
hard
some,
on it.
You can have some minutes to think about it.
Jesus Christ! Oh man, I
A really unpopular, something that you are sure people will not
Hate.
agree with. All right.
You're throwing me to the sharks. You want me to
Exactly.
get it enough in the comments. I
Exactly.
don't. Let me think, because that's a very good one, but it's also a very tough one.
Yeah.
An unpopular opinion. Jesus.
Yeah, there are quite a few I can think about, but the most unpopular that's a tough one.
Jeez. God damn it. All right. Give me a second.
Mario Tennis on the Virtual Boy is the best Mario Tennis game.
Jesus. Oh, I think I have one. Let me think if there's any other, because I think this is, knowing me, this would be a pretty obvious one to say.
Okay. New Super Mario Bros. U is better than Super Mario World.
Zelda.
I'm lying, guys. Like, this is
Yeah,
not the case.
absolutely.
I'm just throwing out stuff. It's not
Zelda
better.
2 is the best Zelda there is out there.
No. Actually, there are Zelda 2 fans.
No.
are Zelda 2
I'm not
fans.
saying it's a. No, yeah, I'm saying it's a bad game. I'm sorry, guys. Zelda 2 is not. It's not great. It's not great. There's so many flaws in that game.
Yeah.
But that's not even that unpopular.
It's the worst Zelda game, I think. So.
Absolutely. Of the Zelda games, of the
Yeah.
Zelda franchise, absolutely, it's the worst
Yeah.
one.
Without not counting the CDI. For the
Right,
CDI
yeah,
games,
absolutely. All right. I think I have one that to this day, I still embrace and support with my heart.
Okay.
And even though I know it's no longer going to happen, it's no longer going to be a thing in the future.
Okay.
But I'm still a very big supporter of the Kinect, of the Kinect as a technology.
That's
and
great one.
Yes. And I know people all over the gaming industry and all over the gaming world and players out there, they hate Kinect. But, the things that Kinect can do, and it no longer happen because it's that ship already sailed, right? It's already gone. The Scorpio and what was that?
I think it was my computer.
All
Yeah.
right. Scorpio and the S, they don't have the proprietary connection for Kinect anymore. That's how much Microsoft has forgotten about Kinect. Or not forgotten, but have put that behind them. But looking at Kinect and seeing all the potential that thing had, and I understand that Kinect 1.0, the first one, was still very rough around the edges. It wasn't the best system in terms of technology, but Kinect 2.0 was an amazing thing, and I mean that because I'm a mechatronics engineer,
Yeah.
and so I got to work several times with Kinect 2.0 in applications that are entirely different from gaming, right? In applications that just entirely different, right? Engineering applications and things that dealt with 3D spacing and movement in 3D and things like if you had say, think of a Roomba of the little robo cleaning thingies that go around your house and do stuff like that. Kinect is so powerful that you could create something like that and something even more impressive and more in terms of spatial recognition. Something amazing. And I don't have something in mind that I can share because they were all projects, right, for school projects. But capabilities of the system were immense and were huge. I mean, the thing, at least theoretically, was supposed to be able to recognize not just body shapes or movements, was also able to recognize face shapes and, should be able to process and relatively accurately tell you if you were stressed or if you were happy or angry or exasperated or sad or tired or a whole range of emotions. And we're dealing with emotions, right? And that's just by facial recognition. It was able to recognize you. We already knew that, and we use that fairly often. It was able to sense the amount or the heat of your body, right? It had thermal recognition systems. It had a lot of systems that could be used to do some very cool and very innovative things. And at the beginning of the generation, when the PS4, the base PS4 came out and the base Xbox One came out, the one thing and one of the main factors that really pushed me over, aside from being a long Xbox fan from my whole time with the Xbox 360, was that the one thing that was different from one generation to the next one was exactly that, was Kinect, was the motion controllers. And granted, it was a sinking ship, and people were already disliking the idea and the concept of motion controllers. But moving from the PS3 to the PS4, there was no really any change. The only change there was in performance and in visual fidelity and the amount of pixels that you could put on a screen, the amount of assets that you can have a screen at once, the amount of polygons, the amount of all of those things. And I get it; those are important. You need those to make a real generational leap. But in terms of possibility, Kinect opened up a whole new world of possible potential things that could be done with it. And there was never really a killer app that made that world enticing. That was a problem with Kinect. And now it's forgotten technology. But I still look at it, and I still have it in my home. I still use it every day with voice commands. But that's what it is now. It's a microphone. That's what my Kinect has turned into. And granted, for Skype, it's an amazing camera. That also, it's a 1080p camera, which is fairly hard to find in today's market. And it has a variable zoom, and it recognizes you, and it moves with you. It's a very, very cool camera. But that's all there is to it now. It's a camera and it's a microphone. And most of the time, it's just a microphone. And that's very sad. But it had a lot of potential. So I still think that if, in a parallel world where someone, I don't know who, where Ubisoft or where, I don't know, a big house, a big, huge developer sat down and said, let's do something great for Kinect. And they did something for Kinect, and that was a great product. The future could be shaping up to be a very different one. Because I really thought back then, and I still think now, that just as VR it is the novelty and the big, cool innovation thing of today's gaming landscape, Kinect had that opportunity, and Kinect had the potential for being that. It sadly wasn't, and it sadly won't be anymore, and I've come to accept that. But I still like the hell out of that thing. I love it. I really think it's great technology that was never used, and it's sad that it's never reach that potential, right? So that's my unpopular opinion. Kinect is a good thing. Kinect was a very good thing, or a very good idea.
Wow. That was moving.
Yeah, I know, right? It turned very emotional at some point.
I think that's the best speech you've ever given. And probably the best one you will ever give.
Yeah, absolutely. And probably the best thing someone has ever said about Kinect, too.
That was very emotional. Very, very well put on, yeah? So your unpopular gaming opinion is that you love the Kinect.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, I just said the Kinect turned out to be a microphone for me as well, and I think through the streams.
Right, yeah, it's good for that too.
How we use it on Saturday with voice chat with more than one people on one room.
Yeah, absolutely,
right?
for Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
That was a great thing because we were able to talk with you and listen to you on TV and talk at the TV and having you listen to us. That was great. That's a great thing. That is not possible on the PS4, right?
Right.
Or without the Kinect on the Xbox One. That was great, yeah. Wow, okay. Very, very good answer. I like it. Spot on. Very good answer. All right. So, games coming out, as we talk about, as I said already, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is coming out on the Switch. Prey is getting a release on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Keep your eye on that one.
I'm intrigued about that one.
It seems very, very interesting.
I'm definitely intrigued about that game. Looking forward to it. Also, Loco Roco Remastered coming to the PS4.
What was that again?
Loco Roco.
Oh, okay.
It's a PS2. I think it's a PS2 game.
It doesn't ring any bell.
It's a cult classic. for PlayStation. It's a very
Loco Roco. Okay.
it has an audience.
It's catchy. I mean, I like the
think
title. I really do.
It's definitely catchy name. Yeah, I agree. I think it was released on the PS2 if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure about of that, but yeah, it's getting a re-release on the PS4. It was announced alongside Parappa the Rapper. Parappa the Rapper? You don't know? No? Really?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's a PS2 game as well.
Okay.
It's a rapping game on the PS2. Very popular. One of the biggest Sony classics.
Really?
Called classics.
Huh.
Yeah, I think it was announced alongside that one. Parappa the Rapper, I think it was already released on the PS4. Now it's turned for Loco Roco.
What's with the catchy title?
Parappa the Rapper.
The rapper? Parappa?
Parappa.
Okay.
Parappa. It's Parappa.
The rapper.
Parappa the Rapper.
The rapper as in I
Rap.
Rap.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's rap music, yeah.
Okay.
Really? You haven't seen the game?
No,
It's
I haven't.
hilarious. It's a freaking dog, I think, with a hat, like 2D, like it seems like it's made of paper, and just standing in front. And there's another guy, and they're dancing. And
Okay, that rings a bell. That description rings a bell, but
and
the
on the
title?
on the top of the screen, you see like buttons that you're gonna be pressing to make the moves and keep rapping. And the lyrics are so hilarious. So that's Parappa the Rapper. It's on the PS4. You can get it now.
All right. Okay.
and-
I'll give it a check.
And now Loco Roco Remaster. I'm not too familiar with that one as I am with Parappa the Rapper, but it's coming. It's coming to. Like whoever came up with this title is a genius.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
It's a
Yes.
So yeah, that's I think coming out on a PS4.
Cool. Cool.
You know, I'm more excited about this game than I was like 5 minutes ago.
Right? Yeah, I know.
Definitely.
That's the magic of good titles.
Oh, good titles, definitely.
I'm
So
looking at you, Xbox One.
It's yeah, hell yeah, and Nintendo new 3DS. You know.
Oh no! Oh, God damn it!
Right.
Why Nintendo?
So, what are we
Wii U.
playing with you? And Switch, even Switch, I don't think it's a good thing,
Switch
but
is
it's the least worst that they've done
yeah,
in
recent
quite a time.
years, yes.
So, what are we playing? What are you playing? What are you playing right now?
Before we jump to this or before we leave
Okay.
the upcoming games, I mean, I just wanted to and just for the sake of saying them, the games with gold and the PS Plus games, because I just saw the announcement, and there's some very very cool games this month for both consoles.
Okay.
PS4 just came up or just updated the list for next month's games
For May.
for May. That's right.
Okay.
Which are smaller things are Type Rider, Laser Disco Defenders, Port Royale 3, Pirates and Merchants, sorry, Blood Knights, and the two big ones PS4 titles are Apsu, which is huge,
Really?
critically acclaimed title. Which, by the way, for you guys, because our audience is global, obviously, that's only going to be coming for North America.
Okay.
That's the PS Plus free game for North America of next month. For Europe, the game it's Alienation.
Alienation.
Yeah.
It's weird that they do.
Yeah, separate releases. Yeah, it's very odd. But I mean, Apsu is a fantastic game that you should check out. I'm still pending on playing it, but I know it's amazingly great.
I'm glad that I didn't buy it because I was about to buy the game.
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks ago, I think. On the spring sale.
I was thinking about buying games like that. This and the next one I'm gonna mention. I thought about buying yesterday that I was doing my shoppings. The other one that I'm very excited about is Tale from the Borderlands.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
which is as of now, as I understand it, is the top critically acclaimed Telltale game of the entire series of Telltale games
Wow.
that they have. So it's
Super cool.
pretty cool. Yeah. Tales from the Borderlands. Give it a check. And Xbox went very, very, very Star Warsy this month. Giving the Star Wars Celebration and whatnot. So the smaller games that are gonna be available that were 360 games are Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris for you Lara Croft or Tomb Raider fans out there.
As far as I know, that's a good name.
Yeah, I understand. It's at least it had a good perception and reception.
Cool.
The other one is Yana's Sister Twisted Dreams Director Scott. I have no idea what that game is.
Gianna's?
Yana's Sisters.
I think that's the game that's famous. I may be mistaken for being a Super Mario Bros. Clone.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's that one. I'm not sure of it.
It's 50% more interesting now than it was a moment ago. Then interesting. It looks fun. It looks like a fun game to at least look at. The other two games that I'm very excited about, it's Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2.
Oh, the second one.
Yeah, the second one, because they had the first one a couple months back.
Yeah.
So this ends the how do you call a sequel thing?
That thing.
The trilogy, but with two games, the trilogy, and Star Wars Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, which I'm not a big fan of Lego games, but I understand that they have a big following and they're good games. So that's for next month.
Mainly
This month
for kids.
you can still get Darksiders.
Okay.
And The Walking Dead Season 2 from
Okay.
Telltale. So very
Good one.
Telltale-y free month
Good
this
games.
this
Good
month.
games.
Yeah, very good games. And that's it. If
cool.
if you were lucky enough, you could. Oh no, you can still get Rise too. Rise, Son of Rome.
Sunrise. Okay.
Beautiful game to look at.
Yeah.
And Assassin's Creed Revelations was also this month's free game.
On Xbox One is the same thing as on PS Plus, right? That if you if your subscription expires,
Yeah.
if you do not have the gold subscription, the games that were given to you, you cannot access them, right? Is that correct?
As far as I understand it's partially correct. It's if you're on Xbox One, you have to have the gold subscription to play the games.
Okay.
Just as with PS4. If you're on 360,
360, yeah,
it's you
not
get to
the
keep
case.
them. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, there's a lot of people out there with 360. So for those of you out there that still own and that's your main system, you get to keep those games. So
Cool.
just download them if you have. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Great games.
Yeah,
Looking
yeah.
forward to Apsu and Star Wars Force Unleashed too.
I'm really looking forward for Apsu and Tales of the Borderlands.
Oh,
I've become a very huge fan of Telltale
games.
of
Cool.
Telltale games.
Awesome.
Mhm.
All right, friends. So, what are you playing? What have you been
Oh,
playing?
that's right. That's how we started this section.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, because the Dragon Ball fan in me researched, and it's now on its max level. I've been watching the latest anime, Super. I've been watching a hell of a lot of old episodes. I've been playing on my cell phone, as you know, Dokkan Battle, and now I'm playing Xenoverse 2, which is interesting. It's not the best game out there. It's good. It's good, and it's fun. I've been playing Mass Effect. Finally made it to the second planet. I'm halfway through the second planet, or second habitat, or however you want to call it. It's very intriguing. It really pulls you in once you step out of the first tutorial-ish parts of the game. I am gonna be playing very soon Horizon Zero Dawn that I got yesterday, and I'm very excited for it too. And Yooka, and that's about it.
Awesome. Cool. Great stuff.
What about you?
I'm playing Yooka-Laylee.
All right.
I also played Resident Evil 5 co-op.
Ooh.
Played through the entire game from start to finish on co-op.
Cool.
Great co-op experience. It's one of the most fun co-op experiences I've ever had. So it's a great game for co-op.
Yeah.
I'm
really itching for the next thing like that. The next game
Right.
that's made so that you can play the entirety of it on
co-op.
co-op, and it's thought of there's thought going into
the
having
game
co-op.
definitely is made for that. I was trying to figure out how would this turn out if I was playing it alone, and in many sections of the game I thought, oh man, this would be boring.
This would
playing it
suck if I
alone.
was on my
Exactly.
own. Mhm.
So co-op experience was great game. Had a lot of fun with it. Played
Cool.
through the entire thing. Very cringe-worthy a lot of times. Very cliched. It's
Sure.
Resident Evil, right? But it was fun. The gameplay was fun, and it was fun laughing at Wesker and all the dumb bullshit that was going on the screen, right? But
Cool.
it was a lot of fun. Love the game. Yooka-Laylee. I played some Towerfall Ascension.
Oh, that's a
Some-
very good game too.
Some multiplayer on that. A lot of fun. A lot of crazy fun. And I also played Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Had a lot of fun with it as always. I'm online and two-player online as well. A lot of fun with it. And yesterday I was invited by a friend to his place to just have some pizza, beers, and just talk about shit,
Life.
right?
Uh-huh.
And he was he just got into Shadow of Mordor, the game.
Oh, nice.
So he was very hyped about Shadow of War,
Yeah.
and he was just talking about Shadow of Mordor, and he was like, just hell, play it.
Mm-hmm.
And he just got out his PC, connected his PC to the TV, and just got the controller and just played. So I started a new game. I played for like an hour.
Mhm.
So Shadow of Mordor. Had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's a very good game.
It's Assassin's Creed meets Far Cry.
Yeah.
It's
in the world of the Lord of the Rings.
in a world of it in that sense. I don't mean this is a negative thing, but it's very gameplay wise. It feels very generic in that sense. Like it feels very familiar. Like
Right.
I feel like I've already done this
Right.
before. But the game's environment is very good, very cool. The story I didn't get much into it, but because I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan yet,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it was
I
fun.
like the way you said that.
It was fun. I like playing it. Didn't blow me away, but there were some aspects of the game that I liked a lot. The combat, for me, what I played, the combat was one of the weakest things, because it's so easy. It was so easy. It's just a spam X, and when you see a Y prompt, just press Y, and that was it. That was basically it.
Right.
Never got hit. Like it was super easy.
That's true.
And there was some sections of the game where I got surrounded by 20 plus enemies. Got all of them. Never got hit. You know what? It was very easy. So I hope the game gets tougher as you go on, as you progress through the game. But it was definitely a lot of fun. Quick side note: where I play on PC, and I was just immediately reminded, like, this is why I don't play on PC. You know, like bullshit.
What happened?
First, the game didn't adapt to the resolution
Okay.
of the TV. Like it didn't want to.
Right.
So we had to restart the game, restart Steam, and the PC.
Mm-hmm.
And then it finally could get, like, it was like, why? Then some unsyncing issues with the sound.
Right. Huh.
Like with some issue with the drivers and that kind of bullshit. You know. Then the game froze. Like the game just froze, and in one portion of the game, and I was like, man, like, as much as people rambled about, yeah, PC Master Race, best experience, best graphics, like, if I had to deal with that bullshit, like, is that your PC Master Race? Like, no, like I get why it's appealing for many people. I get that, and I don't mean that as an attack for PC gamers, but it's not for me. Not for me. It's definitely not for me. I don't want to spend time troubleshooting.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Definitely
it's absolutely fair. I mean, and that is why there's community there. That's why there's the console community, and that's why there's a PC community.
And that's why it's a good thing that both exist.
Yeah.
Also, but one thing that I give to the game, it looked gorgeous on that PC.
Right.
Because it was a beefy PC, and it looked beautiful.
Nice.
It looked very, very nice. The lighting was very, very nice.
Cool.
That's the thing that I give to the game, and it was performing very well. Had a very good performance. So that was a nice thing.
Right.
That's basically it.
All right.
That's basically it. So, folks, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching the show on YouTube or listening on iTunes and iTunes, Truth and Elastic. If you enjoyed your time with us, please like the video and subscribe to Gaming Frontier on YouTube. Share it with your friends if you like. We appreciate all of the support.
Yes, that's absolutely right. And be sure to be here next week for episode 46, right?
I can hear all your bags.
Yeah, my bag everywhere. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, be here next week for episode 46. As you mentioned already, thank you so much for being here and watching. Please, if you do have some comments, leave them down below in the comment section, or send a message to any of our social media.
Absolutely.
Which, you can tell them right
You
now.
can always reach us on Twitter at _Gaming Frontier, and on Facebook as Gaming Frontier at facebook.com/Gaming Frontier Entertainment. If you have any questions you'd like us to answer on the show, you can send us an email to gamingfrontier.contact@gmail.com. As every week, we'd like to thank Tecnológico de Monterrey and Mr. Isaac Estrella for making this possible and allowing us to use all of this equipment and this room and all of the stuff that makes all of this a reality. Thank you so much, guys, and